Hello, everyone, and welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Transportation System.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Double Dose of Disney podcast. As always, I am joined here by my handsome husband and best friend, Tony. On this week's episode, we are doing Disney trivia, Brittney versus Tony. So we are going to see who wins.
So this is a battle royale.
Yes, a battle royale, and you're about to go down.
And we didn't discuss what winner or loser gets or doesn't get.
No, we didn't.
Figure that out.
Yeah, let's figure that out. Maybe we'll decide who... I don't know.
So this is good. I'm excited.
Yeah. We're super excited for this episode. One of our friends actually suggested this episode for an idea. So I always talk each week at the end of the episode, but kind of wanted to do it at the beginning this time in case you cut it off early or something. If you have any suggestions for episode ideas or anything like that, we always open up questions on our Instagram stories each week. So if you follow us over on the Double Dose of Disney fam, you can always submit any episode ideas that you have. But should we tell everybody our really exciting news?
I don't know what you're talking about. Sure.
Yes, you do. We booked our Disney trip yesterday.
Yeah. We did.
Yeah. So we're going. We are headed back to Disney in February for the first time as a family of 4.
We back. I feel like we always have news, so I didn't really know what you were talking about. It's a new season.
Yeah, it's a very much a new season in our lives. But we are super excited. We actually should be getting on a plane tomorrow to go to Orlando to go to Disney World, but we obviously canceled that because of the twins on the way.
So it worked out right now.
Yeah, so my doctor had suggested for us not to travel after August, and we just decided that we would cancel the trip and go back as a family of 4. So it will be our first trip back in a year, which seems so long. We will have left as 2 and come back as 4 for our 6th anniversary.
I feel so sophisticated thinking about this whole game situation. Did a lot of research here.
But we need to talk about where we're staying first. We're staying at...
Boardwalk.
Yeah, we're staying at Disney's Boardwalk Resort. We are super excited. Our goal is to stay at all of the resorts on Disney property. And we usually do a split stay in February because we do a longer trip. And we could still do a split stay if we decided to add on a day or something like that if we wanted to. But with the girls...
Sounds like it's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah, with the girls, especially for their first trip, we're staying for 7 nights at Boardwalk at the beginning of February. For our anniversary, we are super excited.
It's one of our bucket lists for sure.
Yeah, this is one of our bucket list resorts. We stayed at Beach Club last year for our anniversary, and it was the perfect way to stay and be able to go walk into Epcot and stuff like that, especially since we're going to do more resort time this trip with the girls.
That hotel room was actually perfect. We literally, our back door.
Beach Club?
Our back door, we walked out literally into Epcot. We were the closest section, literally just walked out our back door and we're on the walkway.
We're on the second floor in the hallway that connects to the stairwell. And literally walked to the end of the hallway.
I walked out in my swimming trunks one time, going to the pool, walking in the front way.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like, what's this guy doing walking in his swimming trunks?
I will say, I've always heard people say they're tempted to go to the parks on their off day. We had 5-day park tickets, and so we had an extra day. We ended up going into the park that evening because we were we're so close, we just want to go into the park, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't stayed over there, definitely got to stay on the Epcot resort area. Yeah,
and when we stayed at Beach Club, Boardwalk has so much to do. We usually go over to Boardwalk anyway. Last September when we went to Disney, we went to Boardwalk and Tony was a part of what was it? It wasn't a magic show. It was
I'm pretty much always
stunt show.
I'm always that guy.
Yeah.
We're the only ones that showed up first ones to show up for this guy, so I knew he was picking me out.
That's true.
Eyeballing me the whole time, trying to do the don't look him in the eyes, no contact. And that didn't really work.
Yeah, so we're super excited. We're going to be doing more resort time with the girls, and it'll be so much fun. We can walk into Epcot whenever we want to. We're planning on doing Park hopper tickets, I'd love to get annual passes so we could just go in and out whenever we want to, but that's another conversation. So we'll just get park hopper tickets and we can go into the parks whenever we want to. And it will be so much fun. But are you ready to start the game?
I was just noticing my
I'm so sorry.
My questions were too close, or you probably cheated and
No. So Tony and I both were working on the answers to, or the trivia questions. We each came up with 5 trivia questions. And, but we were both super secretive about it. And we were like asking each other, it was like, hey, you don't have a question about, and I was trying to make it as general as I could so he didn't know and he couldn't look up the answer. So, you ready to go?
Starting it off. Question number 1. I think these are going to be pretty hard for you, actually. How many rides are there in Epcot? Actually, this one might be my easiest one, actually.
Are you kidding me?
We should have had a timer.
You told me.
Is it A, 9, B, 10, C, 11, or D, 12?
Let me go through really quick and see.
You've got 20 seconds.
What are you going to count on? You can use a timer on your phone if you want to.
Just do my head.
Okay. So there's the Seas with Nemo. You said attractions or rides?
Yeah, it's gonna be one you gotta be able to get on.
Okay. So the Seas, Mission Space. Is Mission Space count as 1 or 2?
I'm pretty sure it's always been 1.
Test Track, Remy's, Guardians of the Galaxy, Frozen Ever After, Figment.
Ding, dock.
What were the options?
You got 9, 10, 11, 12.
9.
Wrong.
How many are there?
11.
11?
And I was multiple fact checking. I went on. I'm even on the app. I was making sure. Hey, if we get something wrong, let us know. By the way, we try to go all the Disney.
I'm looking this up.
So you got Spaceship Earth. You got Test Track.
Oh, I forgot Spaceship Earth. Duh.
Mission Space. You got Guardians. Living with the Land. Nemo. Grand Fiesta. Figment. Frozen. And Remy's.
You're right. Soarin'. I forgot about Soarin' too. Okay. And Living with the Land. I completely forgot about the Land Pavilion.
This might mess up somebody's question for later, but a little fun fact is that there's more than Hollywood and Animal Kingdom at Epcot. Attractions. Everyone used to say, there's nothing to do, or we skip Epcot because there's nothing to really do, no rides for there's 11. There's more than Animal Kingdom and Hollywood, not combined.
Here's the thing about Epcot. I love Epcot.
And now there's a lot more to do. Obviously, have Guardians now, and Remy's is new.
Yeah, I love Epcot. Now, I was talking to one of my clients about it earlier this week, and I was actually talking to my mother about this, because when we went to Disney in the 90s, like, Epcot was an edutainment park, so it really, like, centered around that. But Epcot is such a blast now to go to. It was more of, like, a park for adults back then. And it's such a fun thing to go to. My mom always says, hi, Mom, I know you listen to these. She always...
blow the comment box up here.
I know she is. She always says, she's always like, when we go to Disney, I don't want to go back to Epcot. I'm like, what are you talking about? You haven't been to Epcot since the 90s. You've got Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Guardians of the Galaxy, like all of these really fun things.
You don't know what you don't know.
I know.
So we're here for.
Yep. All right. So, for my question, just as a side note, Tony said when we were doing this, he said, let's not make them too hard because...
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
You just asked me if they were hard.
A couple days ago, you go, let's not make this too hard because then I won't be able to get into it.
Day.
Okay, well, now that we know that...
So yours are easy?
Not necessarily. How much land does Walt Disney World sit on? Is it 10,000 acres, 50,000 acres, 27,000 acres, or 16,000 acres?
Same again.
10,000, 50,000, 27,000, or 16,000?
Like how you put them all out of order. You didn't go from like low to high at the most. You went kind of all over the place. One more time for the folks.
10,000? 10,000 acres, 50,000 acres, 27,000 acres, or 16,000 acres?
50.
It's 27,000 acres. Disneyland, when Disneyland opened in 1955, Walt quickly realized that he was on a big big like land constraint. They had over 10 million visitors in 3 years from 1955 to 1958. So in the late 1950s, Walt put together a team of people to kind of start studying like which area of the country should they build a second theme park in. And of course, he had had so much success with Disneyland. Everybody wanted him to like put a second park in their area. But in 1964, Disney began buying up parcels of land under the disguise of different company names. And they bought a total of 27,443 acres. So in 1965, after a lot of speculation, the Orlando Sentinel broke a news article saying Disney had bought all the land, and the next day, the Florida governor confirmed it with Disney's permission. So when we went to Disney for the first time, it was kind of hard for me to explain to you because I had been, as a kid, it was hard for me to explain to you, like, hey, Disney, like, Disney's not just a park, like it's so big. And I looked it up and I would try to tell Tony, like, it's the same size as San Francisco, but you don't really understand it until you get there, know?
I thought that was your question was going to be, because I've heard that one a few times.
What?
It's the same or bigger than San Francisco, same size.
Yeah.
That it sits on.
Yeah. So,
I was waiting for it.
There's a book called, what is that book called? I read a book about Disney buying up the land in Florida. It's a really good book, and that's like where I pulled a lot of those facts from.
Yeah, they're still buying up more property.
Not now. I don't think so. I think all the land was bought around it. The reason they bought so much land is because as soon as Disneyland opened, all of this vacant land around the parks in Anaheim, there were like these like motels, and Walt didn't like the look of it. He wanted it to kind of be something that they could manage. So instead they bought more land than they'll need. They still have tons of vacant land. Like, think about all the vacant land you just go over on the Skyliner, for example.
Well, that's what I was just thinking about. They keep a certain percentage to keep as uninhabited land for animals.
Yeah. It's like
there's a name for it. But
it's like a green belt kind of concept.
There's a certain amount of percentage of land that they will not build on in Walt Disney World to keep preserved.
Right. Yeah, the book that I read about buying land at Disney World, it's called Buying Disney's World, if you're interested in it. It's by Aaron Goldberg. It's a really good book. It's like, we love like the nerdy side of like Disney history because there's so much to it. And I love reading books about like Disney history. So that's a really good book to read if like you want to know more about the process of buying the land. And as just like a fun side note, when you're walking down Main Street, USA, the windows above Main Street USA, if you look at the names on them, a lot of them are going to be names of like obscure company names. And those were names, not all of them, but most of them were names that were used when buying up the parcels of land in Florida.
And another side note, we're going to eventually do a few more podcasts from now, probably do the fun facts and stuff about Walt, because that's what we obviously like about the parks, and that's just a huge part of why we appreciate the parks so much and everything, because of who Walt is. So we're gonna do a lot more.
Yeah,
a couple episodes coming up.
I'm looking at
Walt.
my bookshelf right now that has a ton of different Disney books on it. My mom has one that she gave me called The Art of Disney, and that's more about like the art of the Walt Disney Studios. And then I have a book that I read called How to Be Like Walt. That was a really good one, but I'm reading right now the Walt Disney autobiography. That is, I can't remember who wrote it, but it's endorsed. It's called Walt, an American Original. And it's endorsed by the Disney company. So
moving on.
Yeah. Next one.
So far, it's
0-0.
Nothing. Question number 2.
Go.
I try to kind of go by kind of parks.
Okay.
So, question number 2. What is, I didn't even spell this right, but what is the height requirement for Tower of Terror? Don't worry, you have choices. Is it A, 40 inches, B, 48 inches, C, 38, D, 32?
Ooh, I think it's either A or C. Because I know
40 or 38?
Uh-huh. I'm going to go with 40.
Correct.
Yeah!
So, 48 is actually a rock and roller coaster.
And what
Which
was
is like the highest height requirement. 38 is Slinky.
Uh-huh.
And 32 is actually Alien Swirling Saucers.
And I think, isn't Space Mountain 44? You were looking at Hollywood Studios.
And that was off the when I got off the app.
I didn't realize that 48 inches was the height requirement for Rock and Roller Coaster, because I always say that the height requirements are so much higher over at Universal Studios or just the Universal parks in general, just because their rides are more intense. So I always thought it was that. That's interesting.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So you got it.
I got one.
1-0.
Okay, you ready to get to the next one? Which of the parks is the smallest space-wise, and which of the parks is the largest space-wise?
There's no choices.
Which of the parks... Well, you know the 4 parks.
I was just stalling.
Which of the parks is...
All right, Animal Kingdom's the biggest.
Okay.
And Hollywood Studios smallest.
Okay, so you got half of it right. Animal Kingdom is the biggest, but Magic Kingdom is actually the smallest. Magic Kingdom, though, has over 38 attractions. Animal Kingdom has 16 attractions.
So you're going by stuff to do?
No. Magic Kingdom is 107 acres, while Animal Kingdom is the largest with over 580 acres.
That one, the largest was easy.
Yeah.
Do you have the size of the other ones or no?
No. I always thought that, I think it's Animal Kingdom, and then it's Epcot, and then it's Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom.
There cannot be a whole lot of difference.
Let's see. I'm going to look it up right now.
You're walking it. They feel...
Let's see.
But then again, you're doing multiple...
You're talking about between which one?
Hollywood Studios and... Well, we know what's that.
So Hollywood Studios is actually not much bigger than Magic Kingdom. Hollywood Studios is actually 135 acres. Magic Kingdom is 107 acres. Animal Kingdom has over 580 acres. Let's see how many acres is Epcot.
I guess you count the water in the middle.
Epcot is 300 acres. So Animal Kingdom has a pretty good sizable amount, because they always say that there's a large chunk of Animal Kingdom that's like undeveloped.
So it's half to one.
Well, we could split that as like 2 questions if you want to.
That was a question error.
Do you want to split it as 2 questions?
It has to be all or nothing.
Okay.
So that's still nothing.
Okay.
Even though it's a bad question, because you still get half an answer.
I'm sorry. I thought that you would get that.
Alright. Moving on.
Tony didn't want to talk about it.
Everybody's competitive, whether you admit it or not.
I know you are.
So it's 1.
Yeah.
We're doing a half. 1 to half.
1 to 0.5.
Question number 3. This one I know. There's no way you're getting it, but you have to guess.
Oh, okay.
I know. How many monorail cars/trains, I don't know what they call them, how many monorails are in the fleet?
In total?
Is it 9, 10, 11, or 12? Everyone just talks about colors and everything, but there's actually, I looked multiple sources. This was on a Disney source, so it's
12.
Gotta be right. Yep.
Well, because I was thinking,
Lucky.
There's 4 cars on each line.
I don't know if they were doing that. I think they were doing actual
Like monorails?
Actual like trains, yeah, the whole thing. And there was like 3 different tracks.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I have it pulled up anymore, but yeah, it's 12.
Interesting.
I don't know if they all run at the same time.
But how many monorail cars are on a monorail at a time? I think it's 4 cars, right? Because you've got the front and the back, and then you've got 2 in the middle.
I don't know on that one. I'm not gonna act like I do.
Let me see. If you look at the size of the monorail,
There's more than that.
Yeah, there's more cars than that. So yeah, you're right. It must be like the total.
There might be some that are not operational, but
There's
they
one,
have them maybe.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars on one monorail, if that makes sense. So like if you're thinking of a train, you got the front and the back, you got the front and the caboose, and then you got the middle cars. There's 4 cars in the middle. So, and then there's one on each end.
Everybody just talks about monorail.
Blue, monorail, gold. Yeah.
There's probably four of each.
That's true. Yeah, because they take them out of service from time to time and like refurbish them.
So question 3, yeah, luckily answered and got lucky.
So I have 2. Tony has
2 to 0.5.
Which Magic Kingdom attraction was flight tested by real astronauts? This is a current attraction, not a past attraction.
Magic Kingdom.
Uh-huh.
It was flight tested by actual astronauts. Magic Kingdom.
Think about Tomorrowland. I'm helping you out here.
Okay.
Which one?
I'm blanking now.
You've got Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
Yes, that is correct.
I could see it. It couldn't. It was on the tip of the tongue.
I just thought this was a really cool fact.
I was thinking of Epcot because we know that one over.
I know. That's why I kept saying
Mission
Magic
Space.
Kingdom, because I wanted to make sure you knew that. Because over at Magic Kingdom, the only thing you have is
that one. Everybody
Astro
knows.
Blaster or Missions or Space Mountain, and nobody's gonna.
Well, maybe if you don't know, that one was actually tested by actual astronauts too. So
Which one? Mission
it
Space.
supposedly has the same feel. I think I guess the orange more
The
so.
orange pulls the same G forces.
They actually
Supposedly.
had astronauts to help develop that ride with them.
Yeah, that's not our favorite ride.
We've done the green, and I don't know if I'll ever attempt the orange because I don't really.
It's not too intense for us. It's just the
It's
space
claustrophobic
confinement.
too. It feels like if there's no way out.
No.
Once that thing closes, you're like, well, what happens if you're not getting out?
What happens if that
Get
thing
stuck in
doesn't
that
open?
thing.
Like, no.
I'll be breathing in and out of that bag, not throwing up and I'll be breathing in and out of it.
I just had a mental image in my head of like when the girls are older and we can take them on that attraction and like you being on one end and me being on the other and you like breathing into a paper bag.
I don't think probably not getting in that one for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever be the orange.
No, I just don't like the space confinement. I mean, it is like when we talk about confined, it is like you get in and it's a simulator and you're sitting in one row with 4 people and that's the only row. And then all of a sudden, like that simulator kind of comes down closer onto you and the doors close and you're in there and you're doing everything. You're not in there for very long. I think it's a few minutes. But the only time we've ridden it, Disney's always like, if you have high blood pressure.
Yeah, if anything.
If you are claustrophobic, do not ride this attraction. So the whole time I'm like, I don't want to get on this attraction, Tony. Let's not ride this attraction. I don't want to get on this attraction. Tony's like, we're riding the ride.
You've dipped out on Rock and Roller Coaster the first time.
Yeah. But
That
then
wasn't even
I get off of every
close.
attraction and I was like, that wasn't that bad. Mission Space, the only thing I don't like is with simulators, I don't like the feeling of going up. It's the same thing as with like Flight of Passage. Like,
on the same token, though, we didn't ride several rides because we listened to people like us
true.
give you input. So do what you want to do and don't skip something. Because
I would say ride it once.
I would say
ride it once. Like it's still, to me, it's still something that's fun. Go over to that area. Go to like Space 220 Lounge or get on the wait list there.
Which we've never done.
We walked over there last time and I think the wait was too
you're
long.
gonna be here 6 hours.
Yeah, we're like
11
next.
o'clock.
Yeah, but back to the answer for my question. Yes, when Space Mountain opened on January 15th of 1975, Jim Irwin, Gordon Cooper, and Scott Carpenter were 3 real-life NASA astronauts. One of them had actually walked on the moon. I don't remember which one it is. The other 2 had been astronauts on different space missions, and they all 3 attended the event. So I thought that was a really cool, fun fact.
I know. Just so detailed you are over there.
I love giving the history behind it.
But giving like hey, just a fun fact, and you get a fun story.
So, Brittney 2, Tony...
You don't know. I'm more straight to the point kind of guy.
Brittney 2, Tony 1.5?
0.5.
No, you got the answer.
I got that. Yeah, I did 1.5.
Don't shortchange yourself.
Credit. Question number 4.
Go.
How many Magic Kingdom restaurants slash what?
Nothing.
Scared. Slash like food locations, and this is actually from them. They actually said restaurants, but it's actually like food locations. It's not as hard as you think. We're doing an over under. Is it over or under 30?
It's over.
Dang it. 33.
You should have known I would get that right.
Well, could have been 29. I don't know.
No, because what do I always?
Don't make them too hard.
What do I always tell you about Disney World? What do I tell everyone?
There's not much you're not going to anyway, so it's not really.
I tell you, there's over 400 places to eat on Disney property. Do you know exactly how many places there are to eat on Disney property? 406. I looked on the Disney World dining website the other day.
Someone's going to fact check you so hard.
No, it is. Go on the Disney World dining website and you look at all dining, like whenever you're on there, before you hit filter or anything, it says 406 results. So it's like snack stands and stuff too.
Yeah, they classify anything. Even like the
popcorn.
I had to pull up yet. Well, anything.
But you know what's interesting?
Or the bakery. Like here's a list. Like Aunt Polly's, Casey's Corner.
Is the Ventureland Spring Roll card on there?
That one's actually not even on here.
Yeah, that one's. It doesn't have like a website.
Isle, Energy Bites.
Energy Bites is on there. It always gets left off.
Westward Ho. I mean, they're all in order. Gee, else on there. Yeah. Main Street Bakery. Skippers. Yeah. 33. That's what I want to say. There's nothing to eat in Magic Kingdom. Well, I mean, I guess there's half of those are probably actually like candy.
Well, and like the
bakery.
what is that Liberty Tree, like in Liberty Tree Square, the like stand that has like the turkey legs?
So a lot of them are just gonna have your basic Mickey bars.
Yeah.
So 3 to 1.5 is the score here, folks, and I think I'm out of it.
No, you're not. You still have 2 questions left.
You got to get the last one wrong.
Okay. How many
Change it up on you.
How many hidden Mickeys are placed around Disney World property?
Who doesn't know that?
1,200, 27,000, 5,000, or 15,000? 1,200.
Is that supposed to be like how many they actually think, or is it like at least that many?
It's at least that many. It's probably more now, but 1,200, 27,000, 5,000, or 15,000.
I mean, even on just a single ride, we counted.
This is a hard question.
15.
Nope, 1,200. Yeah.
1,200?
There are 1,200
at a resort.
There are 1,200 hidden Mickeys placed around Disney World property. The hard part of this is not every hidden Mickey is recognized by the Imagineers as an official hidden Mickey.
This is probably old.
Hidden Mickeys started in the 1970s. If you don't know what a hidden Mickey is a hidden representation of Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse or Donald Duck. It's not counting like anybody but Mickey.
I'm thinking about the resorts that have it like on the carpet. I mean, there's
so that's
Mickey
a thing.
And Minnie's like the lights up there have them all on the light.
Okay, we'll throw out this question, okay? Because
is it right or not?
It seems subjective, but no, there are 1,200 hidden Mickeys placed throughout Disney World property. So hidden Mickeys, if you don't know, started in the 1970s and 80s when Disney was building Epcot. Because Epcot was going to be an adult-centered theme park, back to kind of what I was talking about with my mom earlier. She was like, I don't really like it as much. Back in the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s, like there weren't Disney characters in Epcot as much because, well, when it first opened, there were no characters in Epcot because alcohol and Disney characters did not mix. So Imagineers took that as a challenge to start incorporating hidden Mickeys into attractions. And then someone wrote an article about hidden Mickeys and it was picked up by Disney and they were like, actually, yeah, this is true. So now Imagineers are actually encouraged to place hidden Mickeys into the attraction because it's a part of pop culture now, especially like as Disney fans and stuff like that. So it's like a challenge for Imagineers to figure out where they can place hidden Mickeys in Disney attractions. And that's not just at Disney World, but it's at parks across the world.
Well, it makes it fun, too, if you actually know what these are and, like, sitting around in a hour line, like, looking for them is fun.
But I will say, with all of that said, I think there's sometimes where people are like, that's a hidden Mickey, that's a hidden Mickey. Like,
some people make them up.
Like, for example, on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, there is hidden Mickeys in the light fixtures of the queue line in the Chinese theater, those are actually recognized as hidden Mickeys. Like, that's a full Mickey silhouette. There's other ones where it's like a hidden Mickey is just like one big circle with two smaller circles on the side, but that could have been like...
So an actual face of Mickey is not considered a hidden Mickey. If you just see Mickey anymore, it's not counted.
No. It has to be hidden, like a silhouette of him.
Harder to find.
Yeah. Harder to find. Like, we like looking for hidden Mickey. Some people, I feel like, look for them more than we do. But I love finding the ones, like at Coronado Springs. We were laying in bed when we were staying at Coronado, and we looked up on the wall, and we were like, that's a hidden Mickey right there on the wall, because Coronado has a lot of, like, just neutral theming. There's not a ton of Disney theming, so that's kind of cool to see. I think it's more so in places like that.
So where are we at on this? Did you win?
No, you still have two questions. You still have a question, and I have a question.
Whose turn are we on?
Your turn.
Last one?
Yes.
Number 5. What's the score here?
So you didn't get the one right last. You have 1.5.
Okay, so I'm playing for fun. So this one, you're gonna get it. You better get this one. Number 5. What is the total number of resorts on Disney property? It's another easy over/under 35.
It's under.
It's under 35.
Yes.
That's wrong.
What?
That's wrong.
That is not wrong.
We got her, folks. We got her.
No.
It's 36. Now listen here.
Are you kidding me?
Listen here. The total number of resorts on Disney property. I did not say the total number of Disney-owned properties.
Make it.
So, 26 are Disney-owned properties.
You're counting the ones at Disney Springs too?
Folks, this is right off. This is right off.
What? If you don't know, I just said Minkus, and Minkus is what I call Tony as
Walt
his, like,
Disney World
nickname.
Daily News. Okay.
You're not on the official Disney World website.
This is legit.
There are over 25 resorts on Disney property. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's 26 Disney-owned resorts.
Okay.
36 are on property.
What does your question say?
The question was that what is the total number of resorts on Disney property?
Okay, you're right. I was wrong.
It's another fun fact. You got it wrong, by the way, folks. You incorrect. The Disney Vacation Planner did not know that one. Not yet. Still book with her, but she doesn't know how many resorts are on property.
No.
Fun fact: 30,000 rooms are on Disney World property.
I did see that.
On property. 24,000 are Disney-owned on Disney-owned resorts. That's
So
a lot of people one time.
What Tony's talking about is there are 26 Disney World owned resorts. There are over 25 Disney World owned resorts on Disney property. In addition to that, on top of those Disney owned resorts,
there's 10 that are not Disney operated, but still on property.
So, like, I talked about
some of the same benefits you can still get with being at a Disney.
They're right. Like, there's like there's the Swan, the Dolphin, the Swan Reserve. Those are 3 of them.
Man, that felt good.
And then over in the Disney Springs area, there's like some Good Neighbor hotels. So that's still considered Disney property. So Tony is right, and I am wrong.
Man, I feel like I won.
But I still like staying at Disney-owned resorts, preferred over...
We probably will never not stay at one. We flirted around the idea, but I don't think we can actually do that.
To me, you just don't get the benefits of it. I actually made a TikTok about that this week. You don't get the benefit... I listed out like the benefits you don't get if you stay at a non-Disney-owned resort. You don't get the deluxe resort hours. Well, you do actually for the ones that are on Disney property. Yeah, you don't get transportation. They will say that you get transportation, and it's nothing against those hotels, but they don't run transportation as frequently to the parks as they do by Disney-owned resorts. So, like, one bus may run per hour versus 20 minutes to each of the parks. You get one bus that goes to all 4 of the parks.
I feel like I won. You have one question left?
Yeah, so...
Oh, good. So I got, what, 2.5?
You got 2. No. Go back and answer. Let's go back and see. You got the first one, Which of the parks is the smallest? You got a 0.5 on that one. And then you got that one.
So we're at 1.5?
1.5, yes. And then how many do I have?
I think you're at 3.
Okay. So this is your...
Well, that was my last question.
But this is your last question. So you could lose by half a point.
No, you got 4. I was off on my count.
You
got the first one wrong. No, first and second.
Yeah, I got the first and last one wrong.
So 3.
Yeah. So this, you could lose by only half a point.
I'm at 2. 2?
2.5. Wait, no, you're at 1.
We're not good at counting, folks. This is
Look, we're just here to have fun, okay?
Not good.
You're at 1.5. Okay, but you could end with 2.5. I have 3.
Hit me.
Okay. How many hamburgers are consumed at Walt Disney World each year? 1 million, 300,000, 10 million, or 775,000?
It's not a million. What do you got? What's the other ones?
300,000 or 775,000? Are you sure it's not millions?
300.
It is 10 million hamburgers.
What? Of course, the one I tried to go under on is the one every other one I went the biggest
7
number
million
on.
hot dogs, 1.6 million turkey legs. Who eats so many turkey legs?
What was the question again?
And 9 million pounds of fries. How many hamburgers are consumed at Walt Disney
They
World?
probably don't even consume these. They're just probably made, and then half are thrown out because they don't even sell them.
And
They're
listen,
sitting, half of those are sitting on their warmer, and they're thrown
we
out.
famously say, especially like our first trip, our tagline of our first trip was, if you are eating hamburgers and chicken strips your entire time at Disney World, you are doing it wrong.
You're not doing it wrong, but if you want that, that's fine.
We
like food. We like adventurous food too. So we'll eat some Casey corn dog nuggets and maybe a burger at a
like Steakhouse 71.
That's what I was going for.
Or Hollywood Brown Derby used to have a really, really good burger. You can always ask for it. They've taken it off the menu though. I think they have sliders though. But I had read, and I was trying to find it today. I couldn't find it. I've read that Cosmic Grace Starlight Cafe in Magic Kingdom in Tomorrowland serves the most hamburgers of any like establishment in the country. But I couldn't find official like information on that, so I didn't go with that.
So official score irrelevant. I lost.
You lost.
First game I lost.
Maybe next time what we'll do is over under. Oh, that makes it easier. I'm sorry. Were mine too hard?
I don't know if they're too hard. It was just not my day.
It's okay.
It's not my day.
You know?
We'll get them next time, folks.
Hey, I got that question incorrect about how many resorts are on Disney property.
Maybe we'll go more specific just on one park or
That's a good idea.
narrow it down.
That's a good idea.
Well,
all right. Well,
that's it.
That is going to do it for another episode of the Double Dose of Disney podcast. Thank you for tuning in this week, and we hope you played along with us at home.
Let us know if we got any of those facts wrong.
Let us know if let us know
Shouldn't be wrong.
What your final score is. I'll put a box up on Instagram. Let us know what your final score was from this episode. And as always, if we get anything wrong, don't be afraid to tell us. We're always up for feedback on that.
Give us some suggestions for future stuff.
Yes. So have a good day, and we will see you next week.
Good day.